We're joined now in studio by Tiara Moore. Thank you so much for coming in today.
Hey, thanks for the invite.
Yeah, so I hear that there's one tweet that got all of this started. Can you tell me what that was and when?
Oh man, so I should know the exact date, but it was in August of 2020. I was tweeting one day. It was a lot of things that went down in 2020, we all know. And so I really tweeted like, hey, where are the other Black marine scientists at? There had been a lot of outreach weeks of Black in STEM, different things going on. And I
Black
said, hey,
in birding.
yeah, Black Birders Week, Black in Physics, Black in Astro, Black in Chem, anything that had to do with like STEM, there was this outreach week. And I was like, oh, well, where's Black and Marine Science Week? You know, where are we at? And people responded and they said, once you tweet something, you didn't have to do it, right? So they're like, okay, this would be cool if we had this week, but can you plan it? And I'm like, oh, I was just tweeting, you know? But then it turned into this whole thing. Like we were able to, you know, get folks who joined and became organizers, planned a whole week with panels and keynotes and workshops, and really was just saying, hey, we exist in this space. And it was bigger, I think, than I could have imagined. And we've just been growing from there.
Yeah, I was wondering about the reaction to it. Did you get a lot of support? Did you get a lot of like people kind of coming out of the woodwork and being like, yes, finally?
Yeah, so how we started the week was we had this hashtag BIMS roll call. And what that was to say, hey, just drop a photo of yourself and introduce yourself if you are a Black marine scientist. Just tell us where you are. And that is what lit the fire. So I did one like, hey, you know, I was a postdoc at the time working at the University of Washington, and just did a picture of me maybe in the lab. And then other people started posting and posting and posting. And there was all of these photos of these Black marine scientists all over the world. So where I was like, yo, where y'all come from? Like, what is this? And so that was a huge amount of support. So just from the community, it was like, wow, there's more of us. But then on the support base, we actually raised $25,000 from individual donations, some organizations that wanted to support what we were doing. And so that's when I really knew like, oh, this is much bigger than a tweet.
Yeah.
This could be something huge.
So the tweet kind of kicks it off, and then you have this Black and Marine Science Week.
Yes.
Where has it gone from there? Like what, you know, that was 2020, and we're now headed into 2023. Like what happened since?
So since that 2020 tweet, we have been fundraising. We have been largely supported. I would love to shout out the David and Lucille Packard Foundation. They gave us our first, I say, big money that said, hey, go do some work, you know, stop scraping pennies. Actually put some resources behind this outreach work that you're doing. We just had our third Black and Marine Science Week, actually a couple of weeks ago. So all of that content and all of the workshops and panels and stuff we had is available on our YouTube channel. So just Black and Marine Science on YouTube. And we've also like been able to do more programming. So we've been offering the scuba dive class where we're able to get students scuba dive certified free of charge, take them on research opportunities like coral restoration or shark tagging. So really trying to break down a lot of those barriers that led to the tweet in the first place. Like, why am I the only Black person in this lab or in this room? Where are the other folks that look like me? And so now we have an organization and the resources to be able to change all of that.
And it's not just about inclusivity either, it's about feeling safe in the field, basically.
Exactly, being included, but also exactly feeling welcome, feeling like you belong. So what we have found largely with Black and Marine Science is that we have had allies that wanted to be a part. And so we actually started our ally memberships and our organizational memberships. And what that looks like is, so we already have our BIMS members network. We have about 300 members now in 30 different countries. But we've opened a space on our membership to have our allies come in to be able to be a part of that network, to be able to say, hey, we support Black and Marine Science. So when you become a BIMS member, ally member, you actually support another BIMS member. So say a BIMS member can't afford to pay or doesn't have the finances, they can apply for a scholarship, and that's how that is paid for. And then also gives us access to the Safe Space Network that we have for our allies, that they can come together and brainstorm and talk about best practices without saying, hey, let me pick your brain. Hey, let me put you through another 15-minute meeting asking the same questions. They can use, you know, each other's advice, and then also be able to post on our job board so we can make sure we have safe spaces that we're sending BIMS members into work. So it's really a full like process for the membership to be able to have, like I said, allies as well as organizations be involved in what BIMS is doing and actually supporting the work. We also now have the capacity to vet your organization. Should I post your job on my job board? Is this a safe space? If a BIMS member applies there, are they going to get harassed? How can I let them know that they aren't? And that's my commitment to the BIMS members. And so through these partnerships, that really allows us to have the capacity to do that and almost give these allies and organizations the BIMS seal of approval.
It's a cool program. Tiara Moore, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you. Thanks so much for having me.